Comeback player of the year. Daniel Jones. Damn, 22-1.
I always wonder how a guy gets a nickname, Danny Dimes. They must have been giving out quarters and dollars and everything for him to be a dime. Like, I mean,
with
you
that.
used to have to be good to have a nickname.
100%.
A dime in football, man, is a bullet.
Yeah.
A guy, throwing it between two defenders.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen many of those.
Correct.
So if I'm a Giants fan, I'm looking for change back, and I'm not betting no money on Danny Pennies.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us for another episode of Fully Loaded. My buddy, Chris Carter. I'm Shawn Meaike. I appreciate y'all jumping on. Thanks for being here, bro.
What's good, man?
Everything's good, man. You looking good? You looking relaxed?
Man, it's fucking hot here, though.
It's very hot here.
Okay.
Florida heat.
Okay, all right.
You weren't raised in this kind of heat.
No, I've been down here
Well, I know
my
that.
whole adult life, so you would think you'd get used to it, but it's hot everywhere, I guess.
Dude, it's hard to get used to.
It is.
Because it don't let up. Very unforgiving. So,
Come on, bring the heat. Bring the heat. Let's go.
We're going to bring the heat. So here's what I wanted to ask you about this, because somebody asked me about this the other day, and I'm like, you know who I'm going to ask? I'm going to ask Chris Carter, because he played in the NFL, and he knows this shit, and he understands what's going on.
And whatever I don't know, I'm going to make up.
I know that, and it'll be good. And you'll make it up so good you won't even know he don't fucking know it. But I want to start something that's not NFL related,
Okay.
sports related, and it's my man Garcia, the boxer. And I had a guy that I know well that had him on a podcast recently, and I was like, before all this went down, I was like, dude, I just feel bad for him. Like, and that's my feeling. I'm like watching him going like, dude, this kid's surrounded by all these rugrats. You see him yelling, like you're like, dude, and that's who he's hanging with, and he's doing his thing, and he's popping off in the mouth, and then he has a drug test, and now he's been like expelled, they call it, or whatever it is, from
On top of his suspension.
on top of his
Because he was
suspension.
already suspended for
Correct.
a year.
Dude, how does that happen?
Well, for one, perspective is one thing. That when people make money, everyone just automatically thinks that everyone changes. And that doesn't happen. What money really brings, and fame and notoriety, is it really brings out who you are and the attributes and traits that you have. Like, what's your true character? That starts to show when you're successful. That starts to show. And it's really a glimpse into how you feel about where you are in life. Like, you take your talent for granted. You take your whole situation for granted. And sometimes people like us, we don't grow up where we could put an actual team around us so that we could be successful, because most of the people around us are sketchy. You know, so we end up putting sketchy people on the team, so it makes us a sketchy group, which makes us do sketchy business, which is hard to do long term. Now, the kid has a skill, and professional sports is about maximizing the moment. And he's just a kid. I mean, you're talking about 25 years old.
Yep.
But these young people don't realize that the Google search, this goes with you forever.
Yep.
Like, one day he's going to be applying for a job or trying to even partner to do a podcast like me. I come knock on the door, guess the first thing you do? Even if you don't, you Google me.
100%.
And then now look at all this trash you have to go through to try to figure out, okay, who this person really is. And I don't think that young people understand, as much as they're attached to social media and everything else, they don't understand the long-term ramifications it's going to have on their life and the effect on their ability to make money and make it for a long period of time. But the thing that I really worry about is that his mental. Because, you know, I always wasn't in the great state mentally that I'm in. And the NFL really tried to help me. And I really pushed away everything that they tried to do. Same thing that he's doing.
Give me an example. What did they try to do that you were like, I'm good, man. I don't want the help.
They tried to get me some type of counseling. They instituted the testing. That's the testing that's supposed to be the deterrent. Like, okay, we care enough about you that we are going to test. And if you need anything, we will assist you in that. Now, once I went to Minnesota demanded it compared to ask me that I need it. Okay. They demanded it as far as being part of their team. And when you're in team sports and professional sports, and with all the pressure on all these teams, they have to get the players help. That's why I don't like boxing as much. I don't like MMA as much, UFC as much, because there's no mandate on the organization to help the people mentally. Like, this is a mental problem, a young person having a mental problem, and more like a mental crisis. So for me, I feel sorry for him that he's not in something that's regulated enough and the people care enough, because it's not a team in New York, it's not a team in LA. Everyone's kind of detached, kind of like a track team, running for yourself. So who really cares about the kid? Who's going to help the kid? The kid's families denounced him. The kid, they told him, hey, this is not him.
Nope.
This is not what we raised. I don't know what he's on. Drugs. I don't know if it's a mental break.
He had a psychotic break. Like, you're watching him and you're like, dude, this is such a downhill fucking boulder. Somebody's got to stop it.
And this is what I try to tell people, even when you get into especially heated arguments with people you love, people close to you, like, be careful.
Yeah.
Like, guard your mental state. Like, don't have something carry you where you don't come back to who you are.
Correct.
And I mean, it's just a thin line between sane and insane. And I like being on this side. And I just have so much more respect after going through what I went through, and now seeing all the people that have struggled in the last 5 years in sports as far as their overall mental health. So I typically, if we had done this show 10 years ago, I've been like, hey man, PEDs, throw the guy out, because I'm just against someone having an advantage.
Yep.
But the overall mental health of someone who's really a talent, and he's missing out on millions and millions of dollars in his future.
Correct.
By not getting this right.
Correct.
So it's sad.
What do so you said NFL had an obligation to help you.
Yes.
What do you mean by that? They had an obligation to.
Because of the public sentiment. And guess what we have in common? Every NFL player, all 1,700 players, 1,650 players, guess what they all have in common?
They really good?
We all have a mom.
Yep. Yep.
And if you want kids signing up for Little League football, if you want moms driving these little kids all around, high school football, spending all this money, cleats, everything that it takes to really make it, you need to acquiesce and treat the employees better so that you keep the pipeline going of the talent. Because the moms in North America, for the most part, control what kind of talent's going to be in the NFL. So you better be doing things that, if you look at our advertisements, look how much softer they are. If you look at the month of October, we do everything for cancer and everything. The league has changed because they know, like, we have to treat these guys fair, and what they're going through is going to need extraordinary care and long-term care, and that's what we have in the NFL.
So why don't the UFC have to do it? Boxing, MMA, those are just different dudes. The moms aren't like, these guys just decide to go fight and they're not accountable to.
Well, are they represented by a union?
No, I don't think so.
And God knows they are making billions off of them. Billions. I seen
Correct.
Dana White and them. They're making a lot of money. But I guarantee you, if we did a 30-30, if we did a behind the scenes of UFC, those type of MMA fighters over the last 10 years, where are they now?
Yeah.
It'd be horrifying.
It would be. Well, you also think about what they,
Because I know it's even bad in the NFL.
Correct. But, bro, I love y'all had helmets on. These guys get their literal brains beat the fuck in.
And the practice.
Yeah?
The practice,
Yeah,
man.
they get
The
beaten down in practice.
Yes.
No doubt about it. I don't really think much about it, but it is hard to watch. It's sad to watch because because he's actually unfucking believably good.
Yeah, he's talented.
And it's just, and it's that fine line of everybody that was watching him talk shit were like, man, he's kind of messed up. And then all of a sudden across the line. And here's the feeling. Here's the question I got for you as an athlete. How hard is it to explain to people that when people turn on you, they turn? Like the world loves you when you're cocky and you're doing, and all of a sudden something happens.
Well, it's hard not to be addicted to the applause.
Yeah.
Like it's it's hard not to. Like, you don't do it for the applause. But let me tell you something. When you get it, when you realize, okay, if I do this, then they do that. That response, that's a drug right there. I'm getting ready to knock this dude out, because when I knock him out,
people go nuts.
Guess what they do?
Correct.
So it's that part right there as an athlete is hard when you get in society, because people aren't cheering for you. When you go to a restaurant with your wife and everything, people aren't just clapping, hey, how you doing, everything. No, it's that way. And now with gambling being such a big part of it, man, people are losing money on these athletes. So a lot of times your first encounter is not a good one. It's not a good one. So no, they're not cheering for you. They got something else to say to you. So how we manage that has a lot to do with how successful you are on and off the field for professional athletes.
You ever anybody do that to you? Talk shit to you about a gambling or a player or something like that?
I've had people try to say little things, but I think that I have more of a track record of people making money than losing money.
Correct. So you made them a lot of money.
Right.
You made me a lot of money.
Right. So I mean,
fantasy football, my best year ever.
I've had more dudes, bald head, white dudes yell across, yo, bruh, drinks on me, man. Fantasy football, you're a king. But that part is real. Like society, people work hard, and they are betting on these games. And there's no way to go with that frustration. And then you see someone out, and it happens to be, they're going to say something. And that's part of it, man.
You got to deal with it.
It's all part of it. I'm a big boy.
And if you're not in a good mental space,
right,
you can react the wrong way.
Absolutely.
And the world turns on you in a minute.
Right. I'm sorry you lost your money, but as I tell my friends, I wouldn't even bet my money on my team. Because I don't know what's going to happen.
Correct.
Every time I think we're going to smash a team, guess what happens? They end up beating us.
Yeah.
Every time I'm scared about a team, we end up dragging them.
Yeah. You never know. Yeah. All right. So football, and I was reading this the other day. I don't remember who was saying it, and I never thought about it this way. Like, you in the NBA, and you watch the NBA game, you can see every NBA player because they don't wear a fucking helmet. Like, you see them. Baseball, you see everybody. Now, football, if I'm watching a game, and it's a wide receiver, running back, quarterback, it's Mahomes, it's you, I know who you look like, but I probably don't know what most, and now in today's world, it's so different. But growing up, if you asked me to go like, is that defensive tackle? I'd be like, I don't really know.
No, absolutely.
Explain what, because that feeling of wanting the applause, but that anonymity of having a helmet on. Do you follow me? Like, how weird. And I don't know who it was. I should have printed out. But the guy was like, it's a different game because most people don't know who I am because I always have a helmet on when I play.
Truth.
Is that something that you ever thought about growing up? I mean, you're a wide receiver. You scored a lot of touchdowns. You were at Ohio State. So it was a different deal for you.
Right.
But a lot of those guys play with anonymity out in public, and people don't. Maybe that's a good thing.
Right. I think that originally it started out with the endorsement deals, that the sports that had no helmet and the players, athletes, male or female, that were more exposed, they were getting all the deals. NBA, they were getting the shoe deals and everything. And then also, people wear basketball shoes as regular shoes compared to the shoes that we wear.
You wear cleats into work.
Right. Yeah, you can't do it. Like, you can't spat them up and
That'd
everything.
just be weird.
Like, no, So I think there's some major differences, but marketing has a lot to do with what you see. So it took the NFL a long time to really catch up with the other sports as how to take advantage of the players. The first thing you do when they go to an NFL game, when they start the game, is they will do a little bit of talking, but the first thing they do is show you the starting lineups. They show you a picture of everybody.
Yeah. You see everybody's face? Yep.
Yeah. Now, they don't typically do it like that in other sports, but for the NFL, they do it for identification. All right? And they allow guys to say their name and everything, because once you hear someone say their name and you see their face and everything, and what we've done is we've allowed guys to be a little more personality. So when you're on the Monday night game, the guy's introducing himself. It's his personality. So you're getting a feel. But this really goes back to the 80s and the 90s. And the Miami Hurricanes knew what was happening. They knew they were playing football, and they knew that no one recognized them. So what they started doing, man, take off that helmet.
Yeah.
Everyone went ballistic.
Yeah.
I mean, flags everywhere.
Yeah.
Those like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And then we went through a phase after that when they were penalizing the players. We went through guys point to the name on the back.
Yeah. Remember that?
And that's really like, no, it's not the name on the front.
Yeah. It's
the guy on the
the
back.
opposite of what they've always been saying.
Yes.
Exactly.
The
No,
coach,
it's me.
The coach always
Like,
tells
come
you
get
that.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The name on the front's more important than the name on the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
But until I score this touchdown, now it's me, coach.
And those colleges with no name on the back, where you just got the name,
Yeah, they
helmet
did
on,
that.
nobody
Penn
knows.
State, all those,
Yeah.
because that's their brand, and they're trying to. So I think that professional sports has caught up, and I think that because pro football has become so popular in the last 20 years, that there's so many marketing deals that our players now. And our players are going other places. Like you see them at the NBA. You see them, all-star games. You see them other places, Grand Prix. You see them at the Masters tournament.
They're everywhere.
Like they're
Everywhere.
They are everywhere. So I think that right there, that helped kind of help bring us up. I'm not going to say it's level with the NBA, because the NBA still have the outrageous shoe deals that will always supersede shoe or apparel deals that the NFL has.
Crazy. All right, stay in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
This might not be good because he said whatever he don't know, he don't bet on. He might not follow him, but I believe him in this one. NFL MVP favorites this year. So Mahomes is the odds-on favorite to win at 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
Allen 8-1. Burrow 9. C.J. Stroud 9-1. Lamar Jackson 13-1. Jordan Love 14-1. Herbert 16-1. Hurts 16-1. Dak Prescott 18-1, and Aaron Rodgers 20-1. Number one, they're all quarterbacks, right? As a wide receiver, it always has to be a quarterback. It's just because everything runs through that dude. Like, it's hard not to.
If I have an MVP type year, unless there's a substitution, that guy is going to have a better year than I'm going to have.
The quarterback will.
Yes.
Throwing you the ball. Unless there's 2 or 3 guys during the season get hurt.
Yes.
One dude throws you the ball all season.
Yes.
Dante Culpepper throws the ball to you all season.
He had a better year than me. Cool. Even if I have my career year, because he's deciphering everything. He's getting the ball to other people. And he's going to have a better year than me for that to happen. Now, and he's touching the ball every snap.
Yep.
So I'm not even going to try to think that my importance to the team is important to his, because I know what I got to do. And I know some plays, I ain't doing nothing.
Mm-hmm. But he's doing something.
Yes.
Ball touches his hand.
And he might have to check to something. I ain't got to check nothing.
You got to do you.
When I hear it's a running play,
Yep.
I read the coverage. I know my assignment is probably the most dangerous man. It's either this guy on me, or if they blitz someone, I'm going to have him. And then I'm trying to see how physical he's going to play. I'm gauging how much do I want to run, because the next play we're going to be throwing the ball, and I ain't getting ready to overexert myself on the next play.
You got to catch a ball.
I mean, that's stupid. So I put on a good act and everything, like I'm blocking the guy. And if I'm mic'd up and everything, I'm yelling, ah! And the coaches, they eat that shit. They eat that. And then the film, they don't know. No. They don't know. I'm holding the guy's jersey. He's trying to run from me and everything. That guy's jersey, like, good block, Carter. Yeah, absolutely, coach. Thank you. Great effort.
And they're running the ball the other side of the field.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
But you're doing your thing.
Yes, I'm
so
faking
you're
it.
not involved in the play at all.
Yes.
Except for your theatrics.
A lot of people talk about it, and it's basically become the quarterback. Now, if a running back runs 1,800 yards, have 20 touchdowns, we got to put him in there. Like, that stuff is still special. It's still hard to do. Correct. But for the most part, the NFL, the MVP is the quarterback. Now, what they will do is the offensive MVP or the offensive player of the year, they will go to the statistically.
Correct.
Okay, if it's a running back, they will give it to him. Justin Jefferson, they gave it to him a couple years ago. So they will go ahead and do that. So are you asking me to pick a favorite, or based on these odds?
Yes, but I want you to pick I want you to pick the favorite, and then if I was going to go ahead and put money on somebody who's more of a long shot, who would you pick?
Okay, no problem. That's great. It's a great question. The number one thing you have to do, even with the bias, I told you this before. If I tell you Patrick Mahomes is Tom Brady, you bet on him the rest of his career.
Got it.
So that's the number one bet.
Mahomes,
you
I
put
take
that,
him.
You
Yep.
put that on Patrick Mahomes.
5-1.
For the upset, I'm going two people. The last odds, I'm going Aaron Rodgers.
Really?
Because the dude is good. The dude's got a chip on his shoulders. And people forget the Jets' defense is going to be top 5.
100%.
Like,
And they're loaded.
only a good offense they face is Miami.
Right.
But they're going to smash New England. Buffalo's offense, they don't know who they're going to be throwing the ball to. So the Jets are going to have an amazing defense.
Correct.
Aaron didn't have that in Green Bay. Okay, so Aaron Rodgers is the first thing. If I got some spare change, it's been a good year.
Yeah,
You got some set aside on the side. Go ahead and put a little something on Aaron Rodgers. And then for the Packers fans, just to get you guys, because I know you're going to be like, oh, don't do that, don't do that. My number one favorite would be Jordan Love.
Why?
He led the NFL in the second half of the season in passes down the field, long passes, and intermediate passes.
Okay.
And when you're throwing the ball in Green Bay, and a lot of those games were very, very cold, and he's finally taken over for a legend, he is not the passer that Aaron Rodgers was when we saw Aaron take over, but I'm just going to say this, that when the Lakers got Wilt Chamberlain, after having George Meaike, two greatest centers ever, and then they went out and got Kareem, and then they went out and got Shaq, you would say, hey, man, the Lakers know something about centers. Like, I like their model. Like, they get that right. The Packers, man, got that quarterback thing right. Some kind of unconventional. Brett Favre traded. Brett Favre had a serious drinking problem, was a rebel, crazy. Aaron Rodgers slipped to him in the draft, sat there behind Brett. And then the last couple of years, I don't know if I'm going to play, don't know if I'm going to play. Very, very diva-ish.
Yeah, it was.
Jordan Love slipped to him again. Like, sometimes you got to give teams credit. Like, the Packers get that quarterback thing right. I mean, they got 40 years, man.
Correct.
Drafting the hardest position in pro sports. So my number one favorite, if I had a couple shekels on the side, that being a good year and everything, don't go into your principal. This is all stuff just off to the
All
side.
extra.
Just
not
profit.
your pile. Don't
Extra.
touch your pile.
Don't touch the pile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give the Green Bay quarterback some love.
How do you think, and you probably know, Aaron Rodgers' relationship with Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers' relationship with Jordan Love, which one do you think is better?
Neither one of them care. Now, Jordan Love is the least accomplished, so he has the least amount of ego.
Got it.
And he's the only one that's innocent.
Correct. Agreed.
Brett Favre went, and Brett Favre knew, because we know as players, the dude's behind you. Man, when they drafted Randy Moss, first thing I told the dude, hey, I need a contract extension. What? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
You're not going to play that one on me. Brett knew exactly who Aaron was. I happened to be working for ESPN when Brett Favre retired and Aaron Rodgers took over the first practice. And I was catching balls from on the sideline.
Okay.
I see what Brett Favre, I know.
Yeah.
That's why Brett Favre was mad at the organization, because they was trying to push him out.
Correct.
Because they knew. And then we went on to see what the guy could do. Multiple MVPs in the league. And then now they have another amazing passer. I wouldn't even be surprised if Green Bay signed Jordan Love to a contract averaging the highest salary in NFL history. I wouldn't be surprised they signed him over $300 million.
Really?
$60 million a year is 5 years. So you heard it from me. Like, okay.
Biggest
before the
contract
season
ever.
started.
Really?
Yes, $60 million.
And he's worth every bit of it. If anybody's worth it.
Well, I'm not going to get into the worth. It's that
it's a good decision for Green Bay to do it.
No, he is their franchise quarterback for the next 10
for them
years.
to do it.
He's going to be an amazing player. Yes.
Okay.
And they don't have the normal structure everybody else has. This is a publicly held team owned by the community. Like, this is where you do it. This is where you can get away with it in a small market. Like, they got plenty of money. But Jordan Love, he should be the highest paid player before we start the NFL season.
So it's fair to say, when you say ego, obviously Jordan Love's younger and ain't got the other shit. Are they Packers are trying to push Favre out. Aaron Rodgers knew it. Favre knew it. The organization knew it. So I'm assuming that wasn't the greatest relationship in the history of the world. Right? Fair enough.
Right.
Jordan Love, did Aaron feel the same way about Jordan Love?
Well, they had to. They had already seen this happen before.
But did Aaron Rodgers felt the same way?
Yes.
Got it.
Of course.
Is his relationship better with the younger kid or with Favre, or he don't give a shit about relationship with either one of them? Don't matter to him. If you're guessing.
I don't know that. I don't think that Jordan is as upset because he didn't have to sit as long as Aaron did.
Right.
I don't think he.
So Aaron was pissed for sitting so long. Favre was pissed he had to get pushed out.
Aaron, like if you throw the ball like Aaron Rodgers, he's on the scout team in Green Bay.
I know.
And then guess what? Brett tells him after the season, "You gonna play? I don't know. Gonna go down to the farm, try to figure that thing out. Go down to the farm."
And they both did it to Green Bay. He did the same shit Brett did.
Yes.
He learned it.
How you gonna push me out?
Yeah.
And you let this guy design his own retirement?
Correct.
How you gonna do that? Yes, there was a lot of animosity there. Yeah.
All right, so I probably know the answer to this one. Comeback player of the year. Here are your favorites. Aaron Rodgers, plus 165. Joe Burrow, 260. Kirk Cousins, plus 650. Then you get down to Anthony Richardson, 7-1. Nick Chubb, 18-1. Russell Wilson, 18-1. Daniel Jones, 22-1. Deshaun Watson, 22-1. Who's your favorite? Which I'm assuming maybe it's Aaron. And who's your long shot? You got a few extra bucks out of your pile. You're going to take a long shot. Who's going to be?
Russell Wilson.
Really? Hey, you love Russell Wilson.
Well, Russell's predictable to me. And I like to put predictable situations into predictable. I know what Pittsburgh, I know what their crowd's going to be like. I know their defense.
You think he's going to start all year long there?
Yes, because he's a superior passer to Justin Fields. I do believe they're going to do a Cordell Stewart type of thing. Justin Fields is going to play and run the ball as a quarterback.
But you think the majority of the passes Russell Wilson's going to throw?
Yes.
How many yards do you think he's going to throw for this year?
I would say Russell Wilson throws for 4,100 yards for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 27 touchdowns.
Dude, I have a hard time
7
arguing with you
interceptions.
because, like, you played in the NFL, but how do I not get out of my mind what happened to the Broncos? That was just a pay-in.
Man, listen, you paid your admission. You can say whatever you
No,
want
I'm not afraid to say it. I'm trying to bet on this thing, though. I'm trying to make money on it.
I understand.
I know how you see it.
But this is the thing. We're going to sit down mid-season, and you're going to be like, I'm going to punch you in the face. You don't know anything. I said, no, that's why our sport is the best.
Correct. The best.
Because you can't predict it.
No doubt.
Now, you can predict the players that are going to play, but you cannot predict
you were to bet,
the games.
You like Russell Wilson's comeback player.
Russell Wilson.
Aaron Rodgers is your favorite.
Also,
he goes out and does that. I mean, he could win them both.
Both of them have a good defense.
Yeah.
So not only do I like the success they had, I like the leadership they provide, but their defense is going to have them in every game. An underdog, I would tell you, would be Chubb for the Browns because their offensive line is nasty. And that dude can run the ball.
Yeah, he's a stud.
And a running back, we get a lot of empathy. Adrian Peterson, he came back, did the same thing.
Yeah.
Man, dude come back and rush for 1,400 yards. They got a good line. I mean, he's a straight line runner, pure runner, works hard, great kid. I could see Chubb beating these guys because everyone's talking about all this, and there's no expectations in Cleveland. They're supposed to be the worst team in the best division. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Man, if Chubb has an amazing year and they're in the play.
Dude, how's Daniel Jones on the list?
Man.
I would bet my entire net worth that he ain't got no shot to become comeback player of the year. I know he's 22, but like literally how does he make this list? Who's thinking that he has a shot to have a good season?
I always wonder how a guy gets a nickname like Danny Dimes. They must have been giving out quarters and dollars and everything for him to be a dime. Like, I mean,
with
you
that.
used to have to be good to have a
100%.
nickname. Like you used to,
Unless you gave it to yourself.
and a dime in football, man, is a bullet.
Yeah.
A guy, throwing it between two defenders.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen many of those.
Correct.
So if I'm a Giants fan, I'm looking for change back, and I'm not betting no money on Danny Pennies.
That's his new nickname.
No, for real, man.
You're gonna have a tough year. All right, we're gonna wrap this pod up with this. Couple things because I had to know. And you brought me. I've met some of the nutritionists. I'm starting to understand it's a big deal in the league. Big deal. So that Kansas City Chiefs won again last year, but they do this NFL Players Association player team report. What happened? The players give feedback. Do they ask each player? How does this work? How do they rate these organizations with cafeteria and dietitian? Who does it?
It's like your operation. I go around and ask all the people.
Got
The
it.
guy that feeds the sharks, hey, man, how's my man Meaike treating you, man? He treating you right? Guy takes care of you, drives you around, do all your podcasts and stuff, get your stuff ready. Talk to the lady at the house. Hey, what's going on?
So it's all subjective.
Well, it's not subjective. They're
Well,
talking
it's their opinion.
Well, it's not. It's not subjective because they're not talking about other teams. They're only talking about what they know.
Okay.
How do you feel in the building?
Correct.
And
But it's their
what type
opinion.
of service?
It's their opinion.
What type of services do you feel like they're giving you? And they answer as if the team's not going to know.
So the nutritionist and dietitian,
Yes.
the Kansas City Chiefs got an F. That's from the players self-reporting.
Yes.
So players are like, "Yo, this stuff's
This is
the
garbage.
Bengals got an F minus. I didn't even know what that was. You got an F minus.
Because the Bengals, what they did to upgrade their dietary program a couple years ago, and they brought in 2 microwaves and said, you can microwave your food.
Then my mom did that.
Like, you can microwave your food.
Electric little frying pan and okay. So that, but
Bro, listen, when I left Minnesota in 2002, we had a full-time staff, a full-time cook. He cooked at least 2 meals for the players every day and 3 meals for the coaches. We had a salad bar. We had a smoothie bar. You can get everything. You can get fried chicken, collard greens. You can get anything, fish, anything organic. You can get anything that you ever want.
okay.
And that was over 20 years ago.
But this don't matter.
These guys are making billions of dollars. This lets you know, are they spending money on the players?
But they got Kansas City got an F and won the Super Bowl.
These dudes can perform regardless of the food. Now, this don't mean championship. This is about how you run your operation.
Correct.
Now, I guarantee you the Hunt family, they took that personal.
You think so?
And I guarantee you that they will jump up that list because they also have old facilities.
Yeah.
So the facilities need to be upgraded. But if you look on that list, their ownership has said, we deem your health to be the most important thing, and we're going to put the resources. You can't hide the money, man.
Correct. Chiefs F, Saints F, Chargers F, Bengals beat everybody with an F minus.
And the Bengals have been like that for 40 years. So
Really?
it wasn't like this year.
They don't give a shit.
They always
They
have
ain't
been.
gonna change it.
They do not care about the players.
Really?
They do not. Cincinnati Bengals.
Organization.
Chris
wait a minute,
Carter.
the Bengals-
I grew up 20 minutes from Bengal Stadium. I know you guys. I know Paul Brown. I know how you guys operate. You guys do not care about the players. That's why in 2024, you guys got an F rating. And if we had done this survey in 64, 74, 84, 94, you would have got an F there too.
Wow. They don't like the players there, bro. Thank God you didn't go there. What if they tried to trade you to the Bengals?
No.
Back in the day, you weren't going to go.
No. I couldn't go. That was too close to my hometown too. I couldn't go back. I couldn't go back.
There's a lot of reasons.
I
you
couldn't
ain't
go
go.
back there.
You made a lottery, no matter how much they pay. All right, so the last one, because I had to read this one. This one's great.
Who was the best though?
Well, let me give it to you right now. Let's do food and cafeteria. Even top 5. You want to guess? Top 5.
Bro, I know one. I know my Vikings.
No.
They didn't make the top 5?
No, dude, sorry.
Were they a B?
They didn't make top 5.
Okay.
But
Well,
they weren't B. They weren't bad.
Okay, no problem, because they got
You
new
did
facilities, everything.
Top 5. You want to guess another one?
Houston Texans.
My man. Let's see how many you can get. Houston's 4. They got an A minus.
What about Baltimore?
Nope, no Baltimore.
Okay. San Francisco.
Niners.
Okay, I got 2 of them. I'm off of it. Do you
A
tell
minus.
me? Okay, all right.
Now I'm gonna get. Hey, you don't want to guess it again?
Nope.
Raiders got a B plus. They're 5th.
That's major because they used to be awful. Now they have amazing facilities.
Deal, dude. Yeah, in Vegas. Yeah. Number 2, which shocked me only because I've been to about every city in America, and I've stayed in a lot of cities in America, and the food and the cafeteria is better there than it is where the food's not bad. It's just a different experience, and I've been to the games a bunch. The Eagles.
Oh yeah, yes.
2.
No,
So
no.
you knew
That's
that.
ownership.
Okay, ownership.
That's
that
ownership.
Good?
No, they take care of it.
Okay.
The Nova Healthcare Center, state of the art. What they do for the players, state of the art. State of the art. Philadelphia.
Number 1. You want to guess number 1? Not too far from you. Not too far from where we are. Number 1, Miami Dolphins.
Oh, Miami Dolphins do everything.
Really?
Bro, they really do. And especially now that they have their new facility. They were not in the top 10 with their food until they moved out to their new place. But what they do for the players, massage, everything you would need, family. Bro, I played like 8 games to them, man. They got an amazing car wash. Bro, they got some bros washing cars down there.
Dude, good. They need to start winning some games. They need to start. I'm going to tell you something right now. I will tell you something right now. The guy playing there, I live an hour from there. Start winning some motherfucking games in the postseason.
Okay.
How about that?
All right.
How about that?
I'm going to take you to a
All
Dolphins.
these
I'm going to
guys,
take you to
all
a Dolphins
this
game
talent,
this year, though.
I got great Dolphins. You come with me.
Okay.
You're so good in the end zone. They'll throw the ball and you'll catch it.
Okay.
You come with me. I want you to go. I want you to bring me down the field. Show me the experience. Why don't they win?
They've gotten things turned around. I love their new coach. Tua had to get over those injuries. They had to assemble the team, man. New England's been dominant. Buffalo's been pretty good. It's hard to win in the NFL, man.
It don't seem hard sitting where I'm sitting. I watch this shit on TV. A lot of other people are winning. You like
Not
the coach?
consistently.
You like the coach?
I
Love
do
him?
like the
You
coach.
do.
I do.
Would
I
you
think
like
the
to play
coach is
for
a
him?
game changer.
You
And
do.
the reason why is because I like smart people. I don't like
That I can
dummies.
say.
I don't like dummies. And anyone that's going to give me an advantage to doing what I'm doing and is going to think outside the box, man, I would love. I used to hate coming in and we play on Sundays and we do the review and then we start the game plan on Monday. So we're off on Tuesdays working in the community. On Wednesday morning, guy gets up and he reads this game plan. And I'm like, you guys been off for a day and a half.
That's all you come up with.
That's all you thought of? Like, that's no plan. Like, that's the same stuff we always do.
So McDaniel's that good
Yes.
of a mind.
Yes.
And the guys are going to be motivated anyway. He don't
And
need to come in and scream and
he's
yell
right. He's righted the ship
Yeah.
as far as the organization. Guys want to be there.
Yeah.
And free agents want to be there.
Got
He
it.
runs an exciting style, and his offense is not duplicated. There's no one in the NFL that runs his same offense. Shawn McVay and them don't run it. Shanahan and them don't run it. Now, he learned under them.
It's not duplicatable because they don't have the personnel to run it.
He's added addendums onto the contract.
Okay.
Like McVay taught him this, and then he added this, all that motion,
Yeah,
and then
because
those
they're
deep routes.
always in.
All those guys
They're
don't do that.
always.
They don't do that.
Yeah.
That's stuff that he added. So for me, the way he attacks the press conference with a fresh mind and everything, sometimes in the game, the camera's on him, the New England game, he looks right at the camera and just starts running from the dude.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
I like that
This
too.
stuff is
Dude,
stressful,
I like
man.
him. I just wanted to
Like,
win.
He just got there, bruh.
Do you
Be
understand?
patient.
I don't have no patience.
I would
got
say-
the Miami Marlins. They couldn't beat anybody. I got the Dolphins. Thank God the Florida hockey team can win.
Yeah, well,
Hurricanes.
this is the first time they've won 30 years. I've been here the whole 30 years
Well,
that they've been
okay.
losing.
Well,
There was a reason why they were throwing rats onto the ice.
well, I only been here that long. They've been pretty good.
Right.
Since I've been here.
Yes, 2 Stanley Cup
No,
finals in 2
I ain't
years.
mad. I've
Yes.
been pretty impressed in my 4 or 5 years here.
It's a good place to be. It's a good place to be. And the fans are very fickle because we're all from somewhere else.
Yes.
And we want to cheer for them, but they're
Yes.
really not our team.
That's exactly. But I want to cheer.
Yeah, I cheer for them.
I want, and they start winning postseason games.
Unless they're playing the
If they can
Vikings,
run.
I cheer for them, bro.
Yeah.
Like I do, because I'm down here. The Heat,
They're going to win the division this year.
yes.
They're going to win a playoff game.
they're going to be in the playoffs. Now you're getting greedy. First you want them in the playoffs?
I want them to win a playoff game. Can you give me a playoff game?
Let's get in the playoffs.
Can you give me a win?
First of all,
can you give me a win?
First you said win the division, which means you're in the playoffs.
Yes.
So then you got greedy. Okay, now they're in the playoffs.
I want one win in the playoffs.
You got to get the right match.
Are they that talented?
Can we get? Yes,
are they that talented?
Yes, they
should
can
they
win
a playoff game? As
yes,
talented as they are.
If they get the right matchup.
Would it be a failure if they didn't?
I would say no. If they win their division, they're going to play at home. But sometimes if they get a wild card, you end up going to Baltimore, you go to Kansas City, and then they don't win. You can't say it's a failure. They went to the playoffs and they lose on the road to Kansas City, Baltimore, somebody like that in Cincinnati.
More talented than Baltimore?
No,
they're not.
No.
So Kansas City and Baltimore are more talented than.
Yeah, Kansas City.
Are the Dolphins most talented in their division? They're the most talented roster.
Them and the Jets. We need to see the Jets, their offensive line.
But they're
yes,
one
them
of
and the Jets.
Top.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, there's only maybe one team. Washington has less talent than New England. So New England is they're out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Buffalo. They don't have a proven wide receiver.
And the Dolphins got everybody.
And they keep building on it. You know, can they keep their running backs healthy?
Yeah.
You know, the Dolphins, it's going to be an exciting year, man. I'm telling you.
I'm going to have some patience. I love you, and I'm going to let you take me to a game. You're going to show me what you want to show me. Show me the facility. Show me dudes washing the cars. But, hey, thanks for jumping on Fully Loaded. It's Chris Carter. I'm Shawn Meaike. I appreciate y'all. Outstanding. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you.
Yep.